Hello, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Profiles in Excellence. As many of you know, Homeland Security Today honors many of the heroes that are working behind the scenes every year at our Homeland Holiday Awards. This year, we're so excited as we had more nominations than ever before from across the country for incredible programs, and we're here to share and introduce you to some of the people behind those programs. My name is Christina Tanaschuk. I'm the executive editor of Homeland Security Today and CEO of the Government Technology and Services Coalition that owns Homeland Security Today. So we're very honored to have with us Doug DeLancey, who's the strategy branch chief at the Department of Homeland Security's Office for Bombing Prevention. Welcome. Oh, it looks like Doug is frozen.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Profiles in Excellence. Look at Homeland Security Today's heroes that work behind the scenes and are nominated each year for awards through the Homeland Security Today Hero Awards. My name is Christina Tanaschuk, and I am the executive editor of HS Today and also the CEO of the Government Technology and Services Coalition. And I'm very, very honored to have with us today Doug DeLancey, who's the strategy branch chief at the Department of Homeland Security's Office for Bombing Prevention. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's great
to be here.
have you with us today. So Doug won one of our big awards, the most innovative campaign to increase security. And this had to do with an exciting program that shared information about bombing awareness called Operation Flashpoint. So could you tell us a little more about that?
Absolutely. A lot of times when people win an award, they'll say, well, it's not, I shouldn't have won it. It was more about the team. Absolutely true in this case. If anything, just tried to organize some activities to further the effort. Operation Flashpoint is a partnership, public-private partnership that raises awareness with point-of-sale retailers that sell explosive precursor chemicals. So our office, through our bomb-making materials awareness program, led by Mr. Chuck Leyes, Mike Egbert, and Quentin O'Brien, and a great team of contractors, really, and it's great when you're able to do this in service or government service, built a program from the bottom up. The Operation Flashpoint was an initiative done in partnership with the regional field force and also the FBI. So through developing that partnership, identifying what locations within the US sell explosive precursor chemicals, sell chemicals that can be used to make improvised explosive devices, they launched a major outreach effort to contact and discuss with those businesses how to identify suspicious purchases, suspicious behavior, and then what to do about it. So through that program, we were able to conduct outreach to a very large number of locations, over 12,300 outreach engagements. Specific Operation Flashpoint engagements were over 8,000. So that's 8,000 locations where either our team, our partners in the Bureau, our protective security advisors or chemical security inspectors within CISA visited these point of sale locations and had some discussions, left behind some materials, and increased their awareness of what to do when they have someone that's purchasing items that can be used to make a dangerous bomb.
That's really going right to the source. That's so incredibly helpful and smart. What are some of the things that you learned from developing those relationships across the country, and what kind of information were people looking for?
Absolutely. So I think as I look back at the way the team organized their effort, really pretty brilliant in that so often when you build a new program or a new effort, and it's something for our project and program managers to think about out there as well within the security enterprise, is so often you're trying to align everything to get it just right. Chuck Laius and the team developed a pretty aggressive approach where, by establishing both corporate partnerships so that at the corporate level, corporations conducted outreach and training with their security managers and their retail locations. The team also started to conduct in-person visits to these locations. So they would go in, have a quick discussion with the store manager. In some cases, that would lead to other engagements where the store manager might say, "Well, we have a regional security meeting next month with our regional retail locations. Could you come back?" So in starting this, they really were able to build out the rest of the program and develop an executable, repeatable model that in turn could be handed off and executed by the protective security advisors, the chemical security inspectors that have a variety of other missions out there where they would include that in their daily activities. Also, the team developed a community liaison course. So in that course, individuals were able to attend and become trained where they could also go out and conduct outreach and increase the awareness of suspicious purchases.
So you have a pretty top-down structure where you have the PSAs on the ground helping at the local level. Those are regional, is that correct?
Absolutely. And Christina, just since you mentioned the PSAs, a tremendous resource for everyone out there. If you're in the security business, you should really consider the resources and the assistance that the protective security advisors can provide. If you don't know who your protective security advisor is in your specific geographic location, you can send a quick email to central@cisa.dhs.gov. Let them know where you are. They'll tell you who your protective security advisor is, and you can contact them and work with them. They can help you manage a variety of risks from active shooter, insider threat, certainly provide insights into access to our bombing prevention resources as well.
That's excellent. Certainly they should reach out ahead of time and get to know them. And I know that they're willing to go on site and talk to folks. So they're an incredible resource. Do you have other advice for kind of the locals that are working on bombing prevention, or really, as you know, the threats against critical infrastructure has been flagged as quite an issue for 2023, both as our HS Today editorial board did their annual threat piece, and certainly attacks against critical infrastructure are on the radar. What can they be doing more to prevent bombings, prevent attacks against their critical infrastructure?
Absolutely. So the increase in domestic bombing incidents is obviously a great concern. We've seen a 71% increase in bombing incidents just over from 2019 to 2020, and a nearly over 55% increase in overall explosion type related incidents since 2015. I would suggest that make an effort to use all the resources available. That can include in-person training that CISA can provide. It can also include a variety of resources. For instance, from what we do, we have a what to do bomb threat, what to do series that covers everything from bomb threats, how to search your facility, what to do, if there actually is a bombing attack, and a variety of resources related to bomb threats. We've seen a large increase in bomb threats to institutions of higher education in the last year. Many of you have seen that on the news as well. Very, very disruptive events. So certainly just a small amount of preparation can do so much. The average security manager has multiple things to consider. Whether it's loss prevention in a retail location, other types of attacks, and try to do some of the training. Try to become the best security practitioner that you can. Listen to webcasts and security publications. Certainly that Protective Security Advisor is a great resource. And also try to establish, and I think you alluded to it a little bit, try to establish some of those relationships beforehand with your first responders, so that they know your facility, you know them. You might have an event coming up, and so often we think of security events as a major level federal event. We also need to have a great awareness for just small local events where we've seen domestic attacks and vehicle ramming. And then I would just add just the basic awareness that we all should have. That intuition when something doesn't look just right. Certainly, the see something, say something logo is a great motto for all of us. General awareness, make sure you know your venue or know where you're visiting, and think through potential threats and actions that you can take.
Absolutely. And I think you mentioned something very important, and that is just the security manager and how many things they have to worry about. And CISA is cyber focused, but also physical security focused. And balancing those two gets harder and harder every day. The threats against cyber, of course, for critical infrastructure are huge. You can't, a simultaneous attack is kind of what people are talking about and thinking about. So it's great that you have a focus on the physical security, because that is where we're seeing a lot of attacks. And of course, those can result in loss of life. And so that focus is really, really important. As you were rolling out this program, Operation Flashpoint, tell us a little bit about some of the challenges, or what were the toughest challenges you faced?
I would say one of those is, the really high profile bombings don't occur that often. There's a lot of activity that is less seen by the public. So as you engage someone, in many cases, it may not be the main threat that's on their mind at any given time. But look at where we are in history. So the World Trade Center bombing in 1993. I mean, the 30th anniversary is coming up in just a couple weeks. The 10-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing, and that's just around the corner in April. And you mentioned cyber and physical, or infrastructure security. The combination of those is certainly the top of many security personnel's mind. The Nashville bombing on Christmas Day in 2020, we saw the effect of the 911 call center and air traffic control. And that event could have had a much more significant loss of life. If you recall, the bomber actually tried to move people away through the recorded address over the speaker. So I think trying to just increase the understanding and awareness that there is a persistent threat, that the explosive incidents are on the rise, and that we need to maintain vigilance to find those prevention opportunities. So we have a team that studies past bombing incidents, and in many or all of those, there's a couple just golden opportunities to prevent that event. And the data suggests, and the case studies show, that when you have a bomber that's en route to a target with a functioning device, that's a little bit too late. And that's a nuance of bombing prevention and bombers, that it, an active assailant, active shooter. I mean, that can be a more rash or spur of the moment decision with someone that, you know, has a weapon to conduct an attack. A bombing typically takes place over, a planning cycle and a surveillance cycle, gathering the materials. And that's where Chuck Leas and his team really focus their effort is, let's focus on trying to increase the likelihood that we can prevent an event by a suspicious purchase. And there's examples in, if you go back to, the Oklahoma City bombing, there were probably some prevention opportunities there. And in events like those, even though we know that a bombing isn't something that happens at a large scale on a frequent basis, events like that are just great reminders for us of the destructive capabilities of a bomb. If you've ever visited the Oklahoma City Memorial Museum, there's 168 chairs there for the victims of the bombing, and 19 of those are small chairs to represent the children that were killed in that attack. So we want to find those prevention opportunities. We want the public to be aware. And in this case, the Bomb Making Materials Awareness Program focused on the stores where the information and the instructions to build an improvised explosive device are readily available. The materials out there are available for purchase. The foreign terrorist organizations have publications that about where to be conspire, and they're providing these instructions, hoping to radicalize individuals to conduct the bombing or any other type of attack. So the BMAP team really focused on trying to gain an increased likelihood that a point of sale would report suspicious purchase activity, whether it's a combination of items that someone's attempting to purchase, just general suspicious behaviors during that purchase, and to engage them, ask some questions, understand what they're selling, how it can be used, and to call 1-800 tell FBI when they believe that they're observing suspicious purchase activity.
Absolutely. We've really moved law enforcement from a model where it was after the fact to prevention. And certainly that really requires much more outreach, much more public education, much more education of, as you did, a very targeted group that can make a huge difference in whether or not that bomber is successful. So yeah, I'm thrilled that you were nominated. I'm thrilled that we got an opportunity to honor the work you've done with this campaign. I hesitate to ask if anything was easy, but was there anything that you found surprisingly easy about rolling out the campaign?
I think just an understanding that we all want to prevent a bombing incident. So it's really pretty easy to, when you engage someone, even if it's not on the forefront of their mind, and talk to someone that sells explosive precursor chemicals and just have a discussion with them. Hey, did you know that this combination of chemicals that you sell can be used to build a homemade explosive device? And in some cases, they may have a little bit of an idea, but to have a discussion with them. And Chuck Leas, Quentin O'Brien, Mike Egbert, the program that they put together, and the dual sealed products that they developed in partnership with the FBI, gave clear instructions and really increased the awareness. So I think just we can all agree that we want to lessen the threat to our critical infrastructure, and certainly prevent as much as we can in terms of potential loss of life in a terrorist attack.
Absolutely. So what's next in securing our posture around bombing prevention?
Absolutely. So, within our office, we're expanding in a number of different directions, and it's one of the really the joys of working within CISA and the Infrastructure Security Division and our office, the Office for Bombing Prevention. The focus and the team is always on maximizing the use of our resources. Uh, Resources, of course, are balanced out throughout the agency and the department. We take pride in just a fanatical effort to get the most out of everything we do. So with that, we've increased our technical assistance that we can provide stakeholders. That includes explosive blast modeling. It includes community level assessments of bombing prevention capability. And that is one area that we're really looking to expand. That'll increase the reach that we have as an office to provide prevention opportunities to the public. We also continue to do a large amount of training across the country. We recently trained our 150,000th individual in bombing prevention training. Our training is accredited training, and our innovative training team has a variety of methods that they use, everything from in-person mobile training teams to virtual instructor-led training, and adapting to just the demand signal that we'll receive from time to time, where a security manager may say, well, I don't have a lot of time. I'd love to send people to your 3-day surveillance detection course, but is there something I can show during a shift change? Is there some a video that you may have that can help us understand what to do in a bomb threat? And we provide those resources, and we do that in just our attempt to increase the awareness and to really reach as many stakeholders that we can within the bomb making materials awareness program. The team also used a number of methods. So they sent emails to retail locations. They sent over 500,000 emails to establish contact. They also conducted a mailing campaign in partnership with our bureau teammates, and they sent over 200,000 letters to locations that sell explosive precursor chemicals. So really a multi-pronged approach, and we're continuing to move out on all those fronts, and continuing in doing that, really engaging our stakeholders. We do some of that at conferences. We attend the major security conferences, and work with some of the trade associations, and also some international partners that we work with.
Yes, you've done several webinars with HS Today as well. As a matter of fact, we have one coming up later in the spring. So we're very happy
Absolutely.
to amplify your message whenever we can, and certainly educate as many people as possible. So I guess in just wrapping up, I want to congratulate you again, and ask if you have any last pieces of advice for the public or for your colleagues out there on how they can play a positive role in making sure we don't lose lives to bombing.
Absolutely. And again, on behalf of our program that won the award, I'm just kind of the representative for the hard work that the Bomb Making Materials Awareness Program did.
Yeah.
Over a year and a half. It's as true as it can be. The whole team deserves a ton of credit, and we thank you so much for recognizing them, providing us an opportunity to talk a little bit about it. I would just leave everyone with, maintain your awareness. If you see suspicious activity, report that. If it's something that you believe is an immediate concern, call 911. Law enforcement, I think, I can't speak for them, but I think they'd rather have an occasional, incident where maybe they looked into something and there wasn't a real threat, versus a horrible bombing occur and a tremendous loss of life. So I'd say I would say that, and I would say everyone involved in the security enterprise, continue to train, continue to read, continue to meet new stakeholders and new partners, and learn from them. And I think that's one thing that we've seen maybe shift. We engage with a lot of different associations, and one great thing about our office is we work at we have policy work with the Joint Program Office for countering IDs at the strategic level, and we have everything from that all the way down to the tactical level training and working with first responders to conduct training. Continue to engage others and learn from them. And in some cases, and we've seen it shift from time to time where, you may be less apt to share with someone in a similar line of work where you've made a mistake. When you make those mistakes, it's okay to share those and talk about them, and and learn from them. And that partner, that other hotel or that other business, they may over time do the same, and then you can come together and learn from each other, because we're all in this together. There's no us and them and any of the prevention opportunities. It's just us.
Absolutely. I hear you talking a lot about collaboration and creating that environment where people learn. And I think we need that all across the country. So the more we can encourage that here, and do that famous saying that we exchange business cards before the disaster or the emergency, is incredibly important more and more these days. So I want to thank you. I'm so sorry you weren't able to attend in person, but I'm very glad to introduce you to the Homeland Security community, share what you're doing, and certainly we offer HS Today as a platform to amplify your bombing prevention videos. Anything you're doing, we're here to help serve you and amplify your mission. So we appreciate your work and congratulate all of your team on the tremendous awareness campaign that you held with the FBI. Thank you
so much.
Of course.